Welcome, everybody, to episode 12 of the Under 1 Million podcast, the podcast based off of the Deserving playlist series on Spotify. I am here with my guest, who's been placed on the Deserving playlist with his records Open Letter and Stand Out. Go ahead and take it away, my man.
What's going on, guys? My name is Sedrickk. I'm a singer-songwriter. Um, Man, I'm just a straight musician, man. I'm an artist. Uh, Nothing else to be said after that. I just love doing music, man. I don't really have a definition on what I do, man. I try to do pretty much whatever I can. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you on that. I don't know if anybody has a definition of what they do anymore. It seems like everybody's got to do everything these
Yeah,
days.
for
But
sure.
So how's it been going, man? How have you been throughout this whole pandemic shit? Just in your personal life, how are you?
Man, this whole pandemic has been like a kind of like a blessing a little bit, man, because before all this, I was actually just working. And, from due to circumstances with, family situations, I kind of been just at home and really doing what I love to do, every day is just doing music. And because I remember back when I was working, I would tell myself like, man, if I can just give myself like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, a month or so, I could make a project and I'll just put all into it, and then I'll release it, and then it'll be something special to to the people that are listening to it, and I was just always looking for that outlet to make more music because with working, man, and family, and it's just not really that much time. You know what I mean? Um, I would get the time to record, but it wasn't as much as I would like to. You know what I mean?
I feel yeah. I feel like artists are kind of in a different world with this whole COVID thing. Like
Yeah,
it was just it wasn't even like a hindrance at all to what we need to do to get our shit done. And like you said, it did. Even for me, it created a lot more time to you know do this. If I didn't have the time to, create this podcast, I don't know if we'd be talking to each other right now. So it
yeah,
has
for
it
sure.
has definitely been a blessing in disguise, music wise. Obviously not a blessing in other aspects of the world, but hey, got to look at it on the bright side of things, right?
Right, 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 right.
I'll be honest too. The I know it's been like it's actually it has been over a year now, I guess, um, since it started. And just like now in these last couple months, I've really started to notice the lack of like human contact or human interaction. Obviously, this is one way to do it, but it doesn't. It's not the same.
Hmm.
So I've really been starting to feel it these past couple months. I'm not gonna lie, but has it have you felt like yourself going in any type of direction lately, or are you still good to go?
I mean, like musically, or just
just
like
just
a
in general.
man. I mean, like this whole thing is just giving me an opportunity, man, just to work on my craft. You know what I mean? And not only with music, but just building time with family, friends, building connections with people, just like what we're doing right now. You know what I mean? And um, you know, just just finding those opportunities, man. Like I said, this whole thing's been a blessing, but also praying for those people that have dealt with the repercussions of the pandemic. You know what I mean? And people losing family and just loved ones and stuff like that. That's always something hard to deal with. You know what I mean? So, but you know, we still got to strive though. You know what I mean? Just keep pushing, keep moving, and just being the best that we can be, and just taking this situation right now and and just grasping this moment because we might not even get a situation like this no more. You know what I mean? To where we can, just put our hands in different things and just make connections. You know what I mean? Um, so it's certainly been it's been a ride. As far as music though, man, I've been riding, listening to beats, just creating different styles, different just flavors. You know what I mean? That's what my boy would say, different flavors. And just man, finding different inspirations. This is kind of like what I've been, kind of been waiting for, man. And I think, just taking this opportunity is just gonna really uh, you know, open the doors, hopefully.
I feel when you say finding different inspirations, is there anything in particular that you can go to say like I mean, I'll use this as an example. A lot of people smoke weed, you know what I mean? Get in the mindset, that type of shit. Is there anything
Right.
that you go to specifically?
Um, man, there's a whole bunch, man. I mean, it can be from sipping to maybe, smoking, or it could be from um just hanging with friends, hanging with family, seeing a movie, um, just driving, just taking just a drive, around the city, and just looking at different things, and just, experiencing just different, just different things. I think I find the most of my inspiration around just what I see every day. You know what I mean? Like I said, my family, my my friends, the city, um, just just pretty much everything, man. And I think that it always makes new avenues of what I can talk about on new records, and the way I can approach different things when I'm coming up with a new song and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
It's funny you say that because that's a common question, obviously, that kind of comes up a lot in my past episodes that I've had already. And you can tell that you can tell who gets inspired by a wide variety of things like you
Mhm.
through your music, because you have a lot of a wide range of topics that you talk about in your records. On the other hand of that, you get a lot of artists like, I don't know, I'm just writing, man. I'm not here just trying to have fun writing. And then it's like, okay, well, I can see that in your music too, because every
Right,
song is about the same thing.
right,
uh,
right.
so it definitely reflects through in your music for sure. Uh, you're from Indiana, right?
Uh, yes, sir. Well, yes, sir. I'm living. Yeah, yes. I've been in Indiana for maybe like 7+ years. Um, I was born in Albany, Georgia. It's a smaller town than what a town that I'm living in right now, which is Evansville, Indiana. Um, and then I ended up moving from Albany to Atlanta, and I stayed in Atlanta for maybe like 11, 12 years. And um, just a lot has happened through, in between time that had led me here to Indiana. Um, but yeah, I've been here, man, for 7+ years, man. And yeah, I mean, it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride from bouncing from different place to place to get here. You know what I mean? Which is crazy.
What brought you, there? What types of, if you're willing to share, of course. Yeah, anything you don't want to share, you don't have to. But
No, you're good. No, you're good. Just uh, man, just family, family, being closer to my mom, um, my brother, my grandmother. Um, uh, in the ongoing years, I've met my girl. We got kids and stuff like that, and it's just circumstances, life circumstances that have, there was just going on, from, you know, parents splitting up to, that whole thing, you know what I mean? So uh yeah, just a lot of different things that which led me here, you know what I mean? But
Just growing up,
I,
right?
growing up, man, life, you know what I mean?
I feel being from, well, from Georgia and the living in Atlanta, if you said for 12 years, I think you said. Um,
Mhm.
Obviously, Atlanta is a humongous music scene, hip hop in particular. Were you heavy into making music when you were living in that area, or is that something you kind of found, later on when you moved out there?
Man, I'll say music kind of came like a little later, like maybe like my mid-teens. Cause like I wanted to play sports. I wanted to play football. Cause I'm like a big dude. Like I'm like 6'1.5", like, and I'm like two something. You know what I mean? But like at the time I wanted to play football. I wanted to play basketball. Um, but just the grades, man, those grades were just not there. You know what I mean? I was always like that. I could be athletic and I can, be the guy for the job. You know what I mean? But it was just always my grades, man. It was just like always that was always holding me back. Not too bad. It was just, I don't know, man. I'm kind of glad that I found music later on though, man, because I think the first time I ever dabbled in like really music for real was when my dad, he has to have like cassette tapes of like old like rappers, like from Biggie to Big Daddy Kane to um um shit, Run DMC to Public Enemy #1, Wu-Tang, bro. I mean, like a wide variety. And I think like the first tape I ever like popped in and just really listened to was like an old Biggie tape. And I was just like, yo, this is crazy. And I was like maybe like 14, 15 years old. And I was like, yo, this guy's like bars is like out of this world. And this is like, I was like, I've always loved music because my mom, she does music. She's on my mother's side, like my mom, she sings and plays piano. My grandmother, they sing and play instruments and stuff like that. And but they were more into like the church, side. And then my dad was more into like the like the, like the gangster rap and all that type of stuff. So it was kind of like two worlds coming together, you know what I mean? And I think what made me really fall in love with music, man, is just the melody, the feeling that you get from music. You know, the emotions that run through your head, that run through your body. Your soul, and just words, man. How it's crazy how words can just connect. Just simple words can connect with people, man, and that are going through the same thing as you. And I think that just what made me just like fall in love with music. So like I'll be when I really wanted to do that in school, I have friends will be on the table, like the whole thing, be on
Oh
the
yeah,
table and rap and freestyle and
got to get those pencil beats going, man.
yeah, all that type of stuff, man, all that type of stuff, and teachers telling you, hey, stop that, that's too loud, you're disrupting the class, and I was just like, man, I don't care what y'all talking about, man, I got bars, y'all hate it. You know what I mean? But man, yeah, I think when I was just I really invested in that, in those old records that I found in my dad's tool shed and old boxes and stuff in the garage.
That that's another thing that's easily noticeable in your music, and and I don't mean this in a bad way at all. You use a lot of simplistic beats, or like the instrumentals you use are pretty simple for the most part.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I love that, man. And because that's what I look for. It makes your lyrics kind of shine to the forefront of each record that you put out. Um,
Facts.
is that a conscious effort? Have you been, like, I'm gonna stick with the kind more mellow sounds, and try to get my message across, or do you have some bangers in the cut for us?
uh, are you talking about like new music coming up or like?
No, just anything. Like, do you have the um I don't know, I don't even know what word I'm looking for here. Would you want to make more of that, like, commercialized sound of music, or at least of these days, or does that not interest you at all?
Um, okay, yeah. Bro, I mean, I just do what comes to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really don't get tied into what's popping now. You know what I mean? I definitely listen to, like, the people that I grew up listening to. That's kind of like what I get my what would you call it? Kind of like my, not like my sound, but like, I get inspired, by these guys I grew up listening to. You know what I mean? And like like uh like Jay-Z, um, like Nas, Big Crit, Wale, um, uh, Cole, Kendrick, Drake. Um, man, it's just like a variety, man. Kid Cudi. I mean, all these guys, man. I think Kanye. Like, I'm just so like indulged into their sound and how they formulate these melodic these melodic feelings that you can feel when when you play these tracks. And um, you know me, man, I just tell my story. And then, like, if I put on a beat and the beat is feeling what I'm feeling at the same time. I mean, like, you never know what's gonna come out. You know what I mean? I really, to answer your question, I really don't. If I feel it, it's gonna. If I feel it, it's gonna work. You know what I mean? If I don't feel it, I'm not gonna do it. Um, I got bangers in the bag, if that's what you're asking.
All right,
I got
all right.
bangers in the.
I'm happy to hear that too. I was open to any answer. Any answer was good, because I love what you're already doing, but I also am curious to hear, what you would sound like over, some more 808s and things of that nature. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
man, yeah. Hey, as we go on in this thing, man, I might give you a couple of hints here too, whatever,
All right, all right.
on some new stuff. But yeah, man. Well, we'll see. We'll see what's coming up.
This is kind of going back to, where you're living at now in Evansville. I've been really enjoying hearing, just the different viewpoints of, like, the music scenes and the different areas that I've been, talking to, of, all the artists I've talked to so far. So
Mm.
what's the music scene like out there in Indiana? Because I don't think of hip hop when I hear Evansville, Indiana, but hey, I could be completely wrong.
um, man, the music scene is kind of is crazy here, uh, to say the least. I mean, the years that I've been living here, the ongoing years. I mean, the music scene is growing with whether it's hip hop, punk, um, country, whatever it is. But as far as the hip hop scene, there's a lot of talented artists, man, that are coming up out of here. Um, uh, you know, it's it's just something that you've always you want to see happen. You know what I mean? Out of a small city. You know what I mean? To see all these great artists, these great musicians, come up out of a small city and represent, and let them know that, hey, y'all need to come over here and look over here and see what we got. You know what I mean? Because we got it here. Um, people are so steered towards the bigger cities. But in some cases, man, you might find that a couple of diamonds, a couple of rare gems in a small city. You know what I mean? But it's just all about just discovering, the stuff, new stuff. I always do. I'm always online, man. I'm always listening to like just, new people, man. I'm always discovering new people every day, you know, especially from here. So it's definitely growing. And it's definitely gonna get bigger here too.
What do you think about the kind of argument that's always like, oh, a lot of people think moving out to, an Atlanta or an LA or whatever, wherever, is gonna, help them move their music career further along. But I'm kind of on the opposite side of that. I don't really think that's necessary, especially now. I mean, the internet, everything is on the internet. Like, you don't need to be in these specific locations. The only thing I can see it helping would be to maybe, create some connections with some bigger names, something like that. But that's just hard, you know what I mean? So
Right.
being someone who's lived in Atlanta, and now, I know that was a while ago, but still, I mean, and now in a different area, which do you prefer? You think you need to go out to big cities, or you're good where you're at, no matter what?
That's crazy you say that, man, because me and my boys were talking about that a couple of days ago. When people, find out, or they end up knowing that I do music or whatever, and then they ask me, where you from? Are you from here or whatever? I'm like, no, I've been here for a little while, but I'm originally from, Atlanta. And they're like, well, bro, why are you here? You need to go. You need to go to a bit. You need to go back. If you want to do music, you need to go back. You need to go and, because they, that view, that view always seems bigger. You know what I mean? When you're talking about a bigger city. You know what I mean? Because it's like opportunities and, all this, different stuff. And, when you look at bigger cities though, it's kind of like you look at it being oversaturated. You know what I mean? Sometimes, um, with a lot of junk, you know what I mean? A lot of trash, you know what I mean? And it's kind of hard to, if you're dope enough, if you're dope, to kind of, get out and actually, get noticed and get recommended, and people actually, get to figure out who you are. Um, I think the opportunity of a smaller city is is bigger than what people think. I see it differently. You know what I mean? I got friends that live in bigger cities that do music. And what I tell them all the time, man, is that the music is always going to speak for itself. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it is, because the music at the end of the day, music is going to last. The music's going to last. The music's going to outlast you. So you want to make the best product that you can make to give to these people, because these people are going to live on with this stuff for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? No matter what age it is. Um, you know, the music, man, the music is what's gonna, is gonna branch out. Big city, small city, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? At the time I thought that, well, I was believing these people like, well, man, maybe I need to go back to, maybe I need to go back to Atlanta and do something. But I'm like, why though? Why when I can be here and be with my team, and we can build a movement here and take it as far as we can here. Why can't we just do it here? You know what I mean? The possibilities are endless. Um, planting your seeds in the right soil, and go in the right direction is what's going to take you. I believe. far as you want to go. Um, which is all about patience and timing and just believing in yourself. It took me a long time to even tell myself that, to be like, yo, bro, you can do it. You can do it. Don't let nobody else tell you can't do it. People are going to put their fears on you, because they think they can't do it. They think that what you see, your vision is too bright for them. So they're gonna dim they're gonna dim your vision. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
it's just, it's all about how you see it. It's all about how you see it and how hard you're gonna go, to get where you need to go.
I'm with you, and I almost think it's more of an advantage to live in an area that's not, so music based or hip hop oriented, because you can stand out. You know what I mean? Your record, stand out. Always had to stand out. You know what I mean? That's the type of
Right.
shit I'm talking about. It's like you said, it's very easy to get lost in a big city. Um, just watch Home Alone, man. Come on. But
Right.
no, we
Right.
it's so easy. And there are, I think there's two different ways to kind of gain a following. And one would be the more big city approach, to where you kind of have to ride artists' coattails, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. And by
Mm-hmm.
that, I don't mean just kind of is completely leeching off of them, but finding a bigger name to open up for, and
Mm-hmm.
getting some fans at a show, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can, like you said, do it yourself in Evansville, Indiana, and just build the community yourself. And you kind of put yourself at the head of the local scene in that aspect. And I feel like you get much more leverage or power to work with that way than the other way around. So
That's
I'm big.
very, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
with you, man. I'm with you. Um, what's the FDE? I gotta ask you, because I've seen you, the FDE. What does that stand for? What's that all about?
FDE, man, it stands for Forever Dreaming Entertainment. Um, it's more than just a label. It's more than just a brand. It's a movement. It's a feeling. It's it's something that you believe in. It's something that I believe in. It's something that anybody can believe in, man. Like I tell my guys all the time, man, just what we got, man, what we got going on is it's always gonna be, it's just take your time. You know what I mean? Take our time with this thing, and be patient with it, and know that, if we can put 120%, 130% into this thing, we're gonna see an outcome from this. But the grind gotta keep going. You know what I mean? Having that tunnel vision to withstand, you know, all the barriers that you can get through, you know. And that's not only just, in the music, but it's also within the name itself, you know. It's something that you can live by, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, man. I mean, yeah.
Do you actually have? Is that what I would you say, like, as an official business model you have planned, or is it kind of like a vision that you have for your music down the road, or something down the road that will grow?
Um, Something that's definitely gonna grow down the road. Um, you know, I've made a couple shirts, just to see where I can get out at, at first hand, just to see how that feels to me. Um, I mean, it's gonna be anything. It's gonna be everything, man. From music to clothes to, I don't know, man, to baby booties. I don't know.
And
I
that'd be
don't know.
unique.
You know what I mean? So it's gonna be something that's gonna be really, really, really worldwide, man. It's gonna be global one. It's gonna be global. I feel pretty soon. Just sticking to the plan. Just sticking to the plan and sticking to this goal that we have, to get there.
I know. Do you work with like a team? I'm kind of I'm slip my memory is slipping me here. I feel like I had some of your team in the comments when I've posted your stuff. Like, do you have a team behind you? Or are you basically doing everything by yourself right now?
No, man, I got a team. I got a
Oh,
team, man. Uh, I know you talked to West Styles
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I've known him since we were little, man. We're from Atlanta. Right? He's from Atlanta. I got my boy Rob. He's here in Evansville. Um, he's an artist too as well in FDE. Um, I got my boy Dita Savage, Nico. Um, oh my, they're gonna be mad at me if I don't name them. um,
Uh,
uh, Shoot, man.
hey
There's a
man,
couple more, man. You guys forgive me. Guys, forgive me if I don't remember your
I'll put him on the spot. Blame me if you want. It's all good.
Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, man, I blame you. I blame you. I blame you. But it's all love. You guys, I love y'all, man. I love y'all. But yeah, it's definitely a family. You know what I mean? It's few artists, but it's more of like a unit. You know what I mean? It's more of like a family. We all got each other's back. Um, a lot of us are doing a lot of different things. Like one of my guys, he posted on his story of like him cooking like some food, and I'm like, yo, this is like 5-star quality looks right here, man. You need to be like a chef or something. And it's just a lot of stuff we do, a lot of different stuff that we do. Um, but we just moving in a unit, man. We moving in as a unit, and we're all looking at whenever when one of us are doing music or we're dropping anything, um, we kind of come together, kind of most part like just the guys that are doing the music. Um, and my guys from back home or my guys from here, they'll be like, yo, bro, like I'll send them like a link and let them hear it, or we'll kind of swap songs and we'll kind of just go back and forth from like what sounds good, what doesn't sound good, what could we put out here in the next month. um and most of it's just a support system, really. You know what I mean? It's a great thing. It's a great thing that we got going on, and it's not a lot of us, but it's plenty of us. You know what I
Right.
mean? You know what I mean? So
It's better to keep that circle small, man. You can't let too many people in. There's not anything for a lot of them to do, and then they just end up leeching off of you. So I feel you, bro. But
right, right.
are you all in the same area still, or now are you kind of separated in different parts
Uh,
of the U.S.?
no, no. Like some of us are in Atlanta, and some of us are here in Evansville.
Gotcha.
The guys that I met here in Evansville, man, that I've been cool with here since I lived here. Um, which just you those are real friends. You know what I mean? You know what real friends are. You know what I mean? And they've always been there from day one. You know what I mean? And always been there just to give their opinions. Um, and it's just like I said, we're all together. Even though it's all separated, we're all together. We're all together. It doesn't feel like we're separated because we're all together.
No, I think that's a good point that you hit on. That they're more of just kind of like a support system for you.
Mhm.
And I always, I try to help in any way I can. I don't. I'm not gonna pretend like I know everything about the music business and things like that. But I've been doing this for a long time and learned a lot along the way. And I feel like having that support system is probably the most important thing you can possibly have as an independent artist or someone that's really trying to gain traction and kind of has to fight for every stream, so to speak.
Right,
It can get dark, man.
right, That's
it's
true.
very easy to get into a dark place, um, and just feel alone as an artist, because I've been there myself, but I've also been on the other side of it, so I can feel the differences. Um, so any artist listening, which this is kind of a fan podcast, and also something that a lot of artists can listen to try to learn from different people's styles or mistakes even. Uh, find the support system, man, because that shit is so important to your mental health, and it shows in the music. If you're feeling down, you can make great music out of that too, but at least for me, my best stuff comes when I'm feeling good and have a lot of energy when I get into that studio. So I'm glad you said that.
Right, right.
um I just had another question. I lost my train of thought. What was it? Oh, yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
Being, where is it? I didn't even thought I wrote it down. Now I lost it. Goodness gracious. Oh yes. This is kind of switching gears, but what's like what's a solid playlist right now for you? This being a podcast based off of playlists, like what do you throw on? You know what I mean? While you're on a drive or whatever, cleaning the house. What's your
Mhm.
go-to shit?
Man, it varies. It varies from and don't judge me, man, because like throughout the years, my music has like grown uh beyond just rap and just hip hop.
Yeah.
Um, from like Queen to like Chris Stapleton to um
Hey, Chris Stapleton is the shit, man. I'm with you on that. He's phenomenal.
yo I that his vocal performance, let alone that is it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Um, who else, man? My girl, man, she's like really into rock, like really into rock and stuff like that, like Korn, um, Metallica, um, Slipknot. Um, oh, I can go on. I can go on. It's just it's broad. It's broad.
No, I'm into that because I'm, similar as well. I mean, I listen to pretty much anything. I'm gonna say except for country, but I mean, Chris Stapleton is kind of like on that cusp of
It just makes an exception.
whatever.
He gets an
Yeah,
exception.
exactly. But
Yeah.
is there someone that you might listen to that you might be a little embarrassed to share with people that you're really into?
Embarrassed to share.
Not that you should be embarrassed by anything. I'm kind of on that vibe. Like, who fucking cares? But I'll name one myself. Like,
Man.
I'm big into Demi Lovato, and like I feel like a lot of people might judge me for that. I don't know.
Oh man. Um embarrassed. Well, not embarrassed.
A guilty pleasure. We'll put it that way.
Man. Sheesh, man. I really can't even really name an artist that I'm just like not afraid to play. I mean, I don't know, man. I just love music. I love music, man. I don't, if I love it, then I'm gonna play it. I don't care what nobody thinks. You know what I mean?
That's the attitude to
Shoot.
have. It's the attitude to have.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
ask you a different question then. So, what's your favorite song right now? Not favorite song ever, but right now, a current record. What's your favorite?
My favorite, it has to be
And it can't be one of your records.
dang. I was about to okay. Uh my favorite record right now. Um I'll say it'll have to be um Biggie's I forgot. Damn. Man, excuse me. RIP Biggie, I'm sorry. Um it has to be like the world is yours. I forgot. It has to be that song. I forgot what it's called.
I know what
Um
record you're talking about. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember. I'm terrible with song names, man. I can't
yeah.
even
I
remember
forgot that.
some of my own shit.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
But no, yeah, it's that it's probably had to be that record. I probably play that record maybe probably like about 10 times a week.
I, they just came out with a new Biggie documentary, and I can't remember who put it out. It might have been, I think it was Netflix. I'm not sure though. Have you watched it though? I haven't watched it yet, but I've just.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I haven't got a chance to watch it. I did watch this one on Netflix. It was about Tupac and Biggie. It was about their I guess about their whole situation and how they tied in, how they were friends and stuff like that, and their conflict with each other and stuff like that. But no, I haven't got a chance to get into that, man. My girl's always hogging Netflix, so I'm always watching like some type of chick flick or something. I don't know. I'm like doing music. So,
Yo, I feel you there because I'll walk into a room and my girl's got on some wild vampire type shit on Netflix. Usually vampires, somewhere involved in that show.
right. Yes,
what
sir.
what show do you walk in on when your girl's got it on that you're just like, oh my gosh, and you gotta leave the room immediately?
Bro, she had put on one, I think it was called Binged.
I know what you're talking about.
Yo, I was like, yo, it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What are you watching that for? Like, we haven't eaten dinner. Like, what's going on? Why, I was just like, man, wow. I was like, okay, that's wild.
What what would you say, like, getting back to music, we went off a little bit there, but what would you say is like your favorite part about putting a record out? Because there's so much that goes into putting it, just one song, you know what I mean, out into the
Mhm.
world that no one really thinks about unless you're doing it yourself.
Right,
There's the artwork, there's obviously the promotion aspect of it, there's the merchandise aspect of it, and the actual writing, the recording, the mixing, mastering, all that stuff. What's your
right.
favorite part about putting a record together?
Um, my favorite part has to be just I think the whole process of it all. Um, from finding the beat, finding the right instrumental to to spill on. And you might go through like 100 beats just in that day, and you might
Oh,
not find anything. You know what I mean? And you're just like, well, you just can't find the inspiration, so you'll just go off or do whatever, and then you might come back, and then you might go through maybe another 100 beats, and eventually you'll find that one, and then and you'll replay it 6, 7 times, because with me making a record, if I find that right beat, I'll listen to it, and I might not even write to it. I'm probably just listening to it for maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just trying to find that feeling. And then, I might turn it off, and then I might go do something. And then I come back, and then if I turn that beat back on again and I get that same initial feeling, I'm like, okay, well, that's the one. You know what I mean? And then after that, then we're off to the races. And then, we start writing, and then, my writing process, man, it can take maybe 45 minutes to maybe a whole week. You know what I mean? Uh, just finding that feeling, that first initial feeling at that moment, is always important for me. The delivery, how you're gonna come into the record. Um, how can you reel people in with the first couple bars that you spit? You know what I mean? I think just that's that whole process, man, that whole process of it all. And then, when you got the beat, and then you got the lyrics, and then you about to put it on wax. Um, I think like the most fun I have making music is like when, you know, I'm recording my vocals and then I can add like different effects and different plugins and different packs to it. You know what I mean? Because it's like the music is limitless. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to add and not add is completely up to you as an artist. Um, you don't have to be set yourself at a standard to where like somebody would tell you, well, oh, why did you add that, or why did you add this, or well, this is unnatural, this doesn't sound organic, or I think when your music doesn't sound like everything else is when that music becomes great over time. That music becomes great over time because it's something that is refreshing, and not only refreshing, but it's the fact that you set something up for yourself that is something new that people will follow behind, you know, maybe or maybe not, but hopefully, you know, yes, to an extent to where they can build their own style and their own sound. And you know, the influences was from you, you know what I mean? But I'm always trying to find new ways to you know, refreshing everything that I do. Um, man, it's just it's so broad, man. The music's so broad. It's whatever you want to do to it, man, you can do to it. The whole process of doing the music, the whole process is fun to me. Even being frustrated and throwing the headphones across the room, that's like part of it. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
That's part of it, and you know, but it's just like, but when you're finished and you're done, and you didn't listen to it maybe 30, 40 times by yourself, and then you made your friends listen to it 30, 40 times, and then you made your girl listen to it 30, 40 times, and then after a while everybody's fed up, but you know, it's like, well, this that one, that's that record, and people are gonna love it, and you love it, and I mean, just that whole process, man, it's amazing to me. It's beautiful to me. I get tired, but I don't care. I don't,
Yeah.
you know, I love it. I love it.
So many good points that, that you just brought
Yeah.
up, but I do want to touch on one that you kind of just mentioned. Was in the before a record goes out, I don't think a lot of casual listeners think about how many times an artist hears that record before anyone else in the world, well, other than the people right around them, hears that shit. So do you do you find it kind of difficult to keep the same energy once it's time to put a record out, that you had maybe halfway or just starting to, make that record? Because that's something I struggle with, man. I'll be honest. Like as soon as once it goes out, it's like, all right, I'm done with this shit. Just listen to it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
Right, right. I'm not gonna lie. I had that feeling when I dropped Stand Out. The process of making that, because I heard the beat and I was like, okay. Because I had that moment where I'll walk away from it and I'll come back and then I'll still have that same feeling. Um, I think that's important because, you can fatigue your ears. You can fatigue, how you're listening to your music. Um, especially when you're not inspired enough to do anything with the track, do anything with the beat, and you're just doing it because you just want to get something done, and just to say you got something done. Um, nah, you know what I mean? Because it's like when you're in the studio, man, and then you find them gears, and you start pedaling, and then you start finding like all these different things that you can reach from to make a great record. Um, and then when you put it out, and then people receive it like, wow, yo, this is different. I can tell you took your time. I can tell you put this into it and that into it, and you know, it's this and that, this and that, and then you know, after you put the record out and you get those receptions, you're like, I want to do it again. The only hard part is that you're always trying to beat yourself. You're battling yourself. That's the whole thing, especially with this music. You're battling yourself. You know what I mean? Because not only you're battling with, you know, all these other guys, it's just, you know, music's so important, man, because you get to find yourself in your own music. You know what I mean? And you know, when you do that, man, you can it doesn't matter how long you take on a record, but that feeling of knowing that, yo, if I take my time and I actually put effort into this, and I tell my guys all the time, if you're stuck on a bar, or you're stuck on like how you're gonna approach a record, just always like think back, go back and reach back and find those feelings. You know what I mean? The record would be called Hate or Love, and you're trying to figure out, well, okay, how can I write a record about love or this and that, and you might be stuck. I'm like, yo, go back to them times when you was in love with this girl, or going back in time when, you know, you got, you know, how much love you got for your boys, or how much love you got for your girl, or your, you know, your kids, or just love for people, or love for just anything. You know what I mean? Just reach back. You can always pull something out of that every time. You know what I mean? It's just the way you just gotta structure it the right way, and just take your time. This thing is it's not a full on sprint. This is a marathon. You know what I mean? Like I said, the music's always gonna last. The music's gonna last, and the music is always gonna matter at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because like I said, these people are gonna carry this with them, like real life, like wholeheartedly. They're gonna keep this with them forever. You know what I mean? Like I play artists that I grew up listening to. Now my kids are listening to them. Like that's like, you know what I mean? That's crazy. You know what I mean? And but that's if you take it serious enough, and you know the purpose, you gotta know your purpose of doing this. You know what I mean? And that's and when you know that, then you can find the answers after that.
For sure. And that's something that you can, I at least feel like I can vibe with, or feel someone else's energy or another artist's energy immediately, either just talking directly to them or listening to their music. You said it a lot with what you were just explaining. You said the word love a lot, and that is the music I try to find, is the music that comes from a place of love. Now, there's a lot of music that also comes from a place of hate, and that, you know, that I can vibe with a lot of that too. Don't get me wrong. You know, a lot of that shit
Mhm.
is you know, high energy, a lot of drill music and stuff like that. I listen to that shit too.
Right,
It gets you
right,
going. But
right.
the stuff that truly resonates and, like you said, withstands the test of time is that music that stems from a place of love. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I struggle with that. I'm struggling with that currently in making the music that I make right now.
Mhm.
Kind of like I said, been getting a lot in my head with the being isolated and not being able to have that human interaction as often as I would like.
Right.
Um, and it's coming through with in a lot of my stuff, and I don't necessarily like it, but it's who I am right now, and I feel like it's important to be vulnerable as well, you know,
Yeah,
in your music. So. Um,
most
yeah,
definitely.
I feel you, bro. That's
Most
some real
definitely.
shit.
Most definitely. I mean, if you look at, man, we can talk on this thing for like hours, but the thing about it is man, you know, you just you gotta know who you are. And being vulnerable is what really, I mean, how else can you sell your story? You know what I mean? How can you sell your story? How can you come up to, approach these strangers, not approaching them physically, but you're approaching them with your music. You know what I mean? Your music is you. So when you're approaching them with your music and you're approaching them with yourself, they're gonna know. They're gonna know, you know what I mean? If it means anything to them, then it will. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But they're gonna know. They're gonna know if, you know, yo, like I mean, he's okay. He's okay, but he's not, the beat's cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or it's a full-on cycle that some artists go through, man, to where they get stuck. They get stuck onto where, like, what's next? What should I do next? What can I do next? Who am I? What can I talk about? What is this? What direction am I gonna go to? Be yourself. Be yourself. And be original and be vulnerable, man. People will form a connection with you when you're being vulnerable with them. It doesn't matter if the record is hype. It doesn't matter if the record is sad. It doesn't matter what it is. But if you can form a connection through that, then that's what matters. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. This is what this whole thing is about. It's a connection. You know what I mean? Even hits that you hear on the radio have a connection. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
That's why they're hits. You know what I mean? I think the definition of a hit has changed now. You know what I mean? Especially because, we're all people at the end of the day. We're all humans and we go through real things. You know what I mean? So it's like whatever we can carry with us to get us through the next day, we're gonna do it, But yeah, man, just knowing who you are is half the battle. You didn't defeated half the battle when you know who you are. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And that basically is probably, I would have to say, the number one reason why I wanted to do this podcast, because, yes, we can learn about, you guys through your music, but there's some stuff you can't ever know. You know what I mean? Unless you sit down, have a discussion with somebody and just, let it flow. It's hard to be a fan of someone if you don't know who they are. So I wanted to just kind of create a platform to where people that have a hard time getting their music out or whatever it is, or just up and coming, it gets lost in translation because there's so much of it out there. I wanted to get to know you guys and girls, whoever it is that I'm talking to, because like I said, like you just said, it's about the connection. I connected with their music, and then I wanted to connect with y'all as a person too. You know what I mean? Because that's important. Music is a wonderful tool that we all use to make those connections. But at the end of the day, being a human is more important than the music. So, that's where it stemmed from.
Right. Yes, sir.
It's dope.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you one more question before we go. After it's all said and done, and with the music and all that type of stuff, what type of role would you want to find yourself in, within the music industry, though? I don't want to say, like, what you're going to be doing outside of music, whatever. But once you're done making music yourself, would you want to take a role as a manager, whatever it might be? What do you see yourself doing at the end of your music life, if you will?
Man, if I'm blessed enough, man, if I'm blessed enough to see, to see all the fruits, you know what I mean? Everything that, God can possibly give me, or, it's just giving back, man. Just give back. I remember at a time, man, where, I remember that there's a lot of things I wanted to do growing up. For the most part, I had a chance to do it, but it wasn't on a level to where it can be just, just showed in a bigger frame. You know what I mean? I've always had to just wait for things. I've always had to, you know, see others get stuff and then have to wait to get mine. But waiting to get mine was always a blessing because I always securely tucked it. You know what I mean? With with everything that I ever had, everything that I got. Um, Giving back, man, giving back to these kids that that need help, that was in the same situation I was in. You know what I mean? I think all of us, man, all of us just need just somebody somebody just to listen to us, just to hear us out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, just to see our vision, because man, there's a lot of dreams, there's a lot of visions, there's a lot of goals that don't get met by people every single day. You know what I mean? Because people are always leaving every day, man. So those dreams, those $1 million dreams, those $1 million, $1 billion, goals, they go with them. You know what I mean? And they never be able to see it come into fruition because either nobody reached back, or nobody cared enough to reach back, or nobody just didn't, somebody just didn't care at all. You know what I mean? Or, nobody just didn't really have the resources to, get to where they need to go. And I think, when it's all said and done, man, I think I'll play a role in just giving back, man, and just knowing, man, and just letting people know, man, this is, this ain't, it's never over until it's over. You know what I mean? You always gotta look over that the horizon, you know. Um, as long as you breathing every day, as long as you waking up and you breathing, man, you always get another day for an opportunity to do more than what you did the day before. You know what I mean? Um, I think I think that's what my role would probably be. When it's all said and done, man. I mean, I definitely, I gotta get a couple, platinum records under my belt first, and let me stop. But
No, don't stop. You're right. We can do it. We can do it.
yeah, man, yeah. I definitely I wanna, set myself. I want to set myself up, man. Set myself up to be able to do these things. You know what I mean? To be able to give back, man.
Right.
So.
No, I respect that, and I agree with you. Mentorship is something that not a lot of people do, or at least willingly want to do, which is kind of sad. It is very important. Like you said, everybody needs someone to just sit down and kind of hear them out, listen to what you're going through, whatever it is, um, whether it be personal or in your business. And in this case, it would be music. And I think that's important. And an important part of being that mentor, I think, is making sure that your message is, it's not failing if you don't meet your goal in music, I should say. Yeah, you
Right.
might have failed with that one goal in that aspect, but what did you bring to the table when you were putting your all in that? And I think that's important for a lot of people to hear too, is that you know this isn't the end all be all. Music is not your life. It's part of your life, and it's an important part of all of our lives, or at least anybody that I talk to, but
Hmm.
it's not the whole thing. And
Yeah.
I want to make that very clear to anybody that ever hears me speak about music, because I can come across sometimes as very you know like music is everything. I know I come across like that to a lot of people when I'm talking to them, but that's not the case.
Good.
So that's dope, and I respect that, and I think you'd be a dope person to do that throughout this hour conversation we've had.
Hey,
um
man.
yeah, man.
I truly appreciate it, man. It's just you go through life. You go through life, man, and as long as you breathe in and you go through these mistakes, you be able to learn from them and grow. um, and especially be the man that the man that you can become. You know what I mean? For everybody that's around you. You know what I mean? Um, man, it's like you said, it's always gonna be a bigger purpose. It's always gonna be bigger than music. It's always gonna be bigger than music. Um, you know, uh, what you leave in your music is what's gonna is gonna be the bigger purpose. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's at the time, yeah, you know you'll make all this money, and you'll meet all these people and travel and all these different things, man. And but just staying focused on what really matters. You know what I mean? What really matters. Um, because at the end of the day, um, you got to think about the people that are behind you. You know what I mean? Because once you're gone, it's like what else happens after that? You know what I mean? So it's just like you got to make sure that you leave something behind. You know what I mean? We wasn't given the tools. We wasn't spoon fed. You know what I mean? You got to get it from the ground. You got to get it from the ground, and once you can catch some traction, you got to take that all the way home, all the way home. So and that's why I'm excited. I'm excited about this new project, man, that I got coming out here pretty soon.
Hey, that takes us into what I was about to say. What do you got coming up, man? Tell us, well, first of all, tell us where we can find you. We're kind of, we'll take it home here. Tell us where everybody can find you and, what you have coming soon, if you can divulge any more information.
No, I got you. You can find me on Instagram. Um, I mean, that's like really the only social site I use, but I'm on there like 24/7. You can ask my girl; she makes jokes about it all the time. but Instagram, as far as music, everywhere you can look up. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, um, Google Play, Deezer, SoundCloud. I think I already said that. Yeah, just everywhere. Just look up my name, and you'll find me.
Dope, dope. Can you give me a date on this new project? For me, this is for me. Don't pretend
It's for
like
you.
no one else is listening.
Okay, I got you. Oh man, I'll say probably mid, late April, early May.
Okay, okay. I feel you on that, man. I can't ever tell anybody dates because I don't know myself.
I
but
feel you.
but I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'll tell you that. I've listened through your entire catalog. I cannot say there's a single record that I've heard that I don't like. So that I can't say that for a
Love,
lot of
man.
people.
I
So
appreciate that.
you
I
keep doing
appreciate
what you're
that.
doing. I love it. And yeah, man, thank you for taking the time. I know it's hard to find some time sometimes, so I appreciate
No,
it,
for
man.
real. I appreciate the opportunity, man. Just as us upcoming artists, man, we just always want somebody just to give us an opportunity to, be heard, because, you know, some of us do have some great stuff. You know what I mean? It's just all about just somebody taking the time out and just, and investing their time into that, and giving that person, a ear, So I appreciate that, man. And man, I can't wait to what was planned down the road. And uh man, this journey, man, this journey, I don't know where it's gonna go, but hopefully, we can take this all the way to the moon, man.
Absolutely, man. That's the goal, and I'm gonna do everything I can to help you along the way. Yeah, that's for sure.
I
Um,
appreciate that.
but yeah, and for everybody listening, that's it. Episode 12. I can't believe I've already done 12 of these things. It seems like that's not a lot, but It doesn't seem like that many yet.
Man,
But
you're consistent, man. You're very consistent. I'm not gonna lie. You're very consistent.
hey, I try.
Every
I
time
try.
I'm on my page, I'm like, yo, he didn't post it again. Like, so I'm always watching.
uh,
I'm always watching.
I appreciate that, man. And everybody listening, thank you for listening. Like he said, you can find him anywhere well, mostly on Instagram. I'll leave all of his links down below. I'll probably just put your link tree down below so you can find everything he's got. Um, yeah, another one down. I hope y'all to come back and listen next time.
All right.
Farewell, everybody.